Top 10 hilarious presidential screw-up. We all make mistakes, but it's different when our nation's leaders screw up. Moments of embarrassment were sometimes legendary and often funny. Coming up in this list are the top 10 hilarious presidential screw-ups. Which of them, better believers, do you think were comedy legend? So let's begin. Number 10. On the 10th spot, the 7th president of the U.S., Andrew Jackson, screwed up at his wife's funeral. Presidential funerals are supposed to be solemn, dignified affairs. Yet Polly, Jackson's parrot, had to be removed because it kept squawking profanities. Reverend William Menifee Normant, who was presiding at the service, reported that people were horrified when the bird let out cries of cuss words. Rah! No! Polly doesn't want a cracker! Polly was an African gray parrot that Jackson had bought for his wife, Rachel. When she passed away, Jackson took care of the bird. But what did this parrot say exactly? No one seems to know. Rah! Rest in peace. Oh, and before we move on to our countdown, don't forget to like this video, turn on notifications, and subscribe to our channel, or Bach will rise from the dead and eat your face off! Number 9. No matter how good you are at your job, people are quick to remember screw-ups and epic fails. The same goes for this president, who repeatedly got stuck in the White House bathtub for our 9th spot. I can't get out of the tub, honey! Someone needs to use more soap. Standing 6 feet high and weighing 340 pounds, former President William Howard Taft was a wrestler and a dancer in his younger years. He was the largest president of the United States in stature, but this big guy is also big in his political achievements. Think, reorganizing the State Department, establishing the income tax, and becoming the only president who served as the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, to name a few. However, history remembers him as the heaviest president who got stuck in the White House bathtub. Stories say that it took 6 people to help him and his naked body out. Whether this account is true or not, his longtime butler, Erwin Hoover, simply told that Taft would sometimes stick in the tub and would need some help getting out, although no specific details about the 6 people were mentioned. This hilarious presidential mishap was even popularized by Mac Barnett, a children's book author who made a fictional, humorous story out of it. Round up your shoehorns, let's get the president out of the tub! Oh man, well, butter my biscuits, here we got number 8. You know you're screwed when you speak a language you don't understand. On our 8th spot is the president who proclaimed that he was a jelly donut in front of a German crowd. On the 26th of June, 1963, President John F. Kennedy gave a speech in support of the citizens of West Berlin after the erection of the Berlin Wall. During that speech, Kennedy proclaimed solidarity with the citizens of Berlin by stating, "Ich bin ein Berliner," as in, I am a Berliner. Afterward, rumors began to circulate that Kennedy had made a grammatical error and had called himself not a citizen of Berlin, but a German pastry, similar to a jelly donut. This misconception was partially solidified in the public's mind by a New York Times op-ed piece in 1988 titled, "I am a jelly-filled donut." I am a jelly-filled donut. However, German speakers insisted that President Kennedy said the phrase correctly, though possibly with a thick American accent. By saying, "Ich bin ein Berliner," he actually said, "I am one with the people of Berlin." The president had a German journalist translate the phrase for him, and that journalist insists that they coached him at length on its proper pronunciation. Moving on to number 7. On the 7th spot, Jimmy Carter, who signed the H.R. 1337, legalizing home brewing, faced a public relations nightmare when his brother signed as the official spokesperson for a new brand of beer. Jimmy Carter was one of those people who appeared to be too kind and pure to be a president. And his black sheep brother Billy is the only insight the opposition saw to assassinate his character. While Jimmy was known as a straight-laced politician, Billy perfected the image of a proud Southern redneck who capitalized on his beer drinker image. In 1977, the Falls Brewing Company launched Billy Beer. Source reports have claimed that Billy received $50,000 a year to license his name and provide promotional services as part of the agreement. Must be nice. Despite his rough image, he claimed that he was a well-educated businessman who helped out his older brother's political cause. As Billy's fame grew, his drinking habit turned from amusing to tragic. At about the same time Jimmy Carter passed the bill for home brewing, Billy had to be taken into rehab due to his excessive drinking, and nearly lost his home in Georgia to the IRS for failing to pay a 6-figure federal income tax bill for 1978. Jimmy Carter for president, enabling alcoholics nationwide. Gotta get me some of that Billy Beer. Up next we have number 6. On the sixth spot was a joke blurted by President Reagan about bombing the Soviet Union 36 years ago. Everybody knows that cracking a joke about bombs is a bad idea. Doing it today can land a perpetrator in jail for 1 to 8 years, depending on whether the incidents cause injury or lead to loss of materials or lives. But back then, things were a little different. On August 11, 1948, when he was rehearsing a pre-speech minutes before a radio broadcast, Reagan made the following joke. "My fellow Americans, I'm pleased to tell you I just signed legislation that outlaws Russia forever. The bombings begin in 5 minutes." Apparently, someone from the radio station inadvertently left a live mic to record the off-the-record remarks. Dastardly. Although the joke was not broadcast over the air, it was leaked soon after it occurred and became the world's news the next day. Talk about misinformation. Most Americans found it humorous, an example of Reagan's folksy and populist speaking demeanor. However, in Moscow, it wasn't a laughing matter, and the leaders of the Soviet Union were outraged. And we're on to our top 5, better believers. Number 5. Vomiting is a revolting thought, but what if a president vomits on another head of state? Maybe borderline funny? We thought so, at least I giggled. For our 5th spot, President George H.W. Bush grew up on Japan's prime minister. Japanese Prime Minister Kiichi Miyazawa hosted a dinner in honor of the president's state visit on January 8, 1992. While having dinner, Bush suddenly felt sick. He leaned forward, then fell to his side, vomiting all over the lap of his host. Bush then fainted as his wife Barbara, his aides, and members of the Secret Service quickly attended to him. He was revived within moments and was able to leave the dinner under his own power, apologizing for the incident. What would you do if you hosted a party and your guest barfed in your lap? Let us know in the comments section below. I'd barf on their head. Up next we have number 4. It seems like fainting is a common thing among the Bush family. On the 4th spot, a calamity befell President George W. Bush when he fainted while watching an NFL playoff game. On January 13, 2002, Bush was watching a football game between the Dolphins and the Ravens in the living quarters of the White House, when suddenly, he fainted and hit the floor after choking on a pretzel. Death by pretzel. Aside from a minor bruise to his ego, he only got a bump on his lower lip and a scrape on his left cheek. The White House physician and an Air Force colonel, Dr. Richard Tubb, quickly attended to him and said, "The pretzel didn't seem to go down right." First Lady Laura Bush was on the phone in another room when it happened, but there was nothing to worry about. The White House nurse was quick to respond and at the scene within 5 minutes. Tubbs simply recommended that Bush go to bed early after a bowl of soup and a salad with the First Lady. Better cut up his pretzels next time, Lady Bush. Number 3. What better way to screw up than leaving a collection of audio recordings as evidence? A political scandal involving President Richard Nixon that eventually led to his resignation holds the 3rd spot. It was an early morning of June 17, 1972, and several burglars were arrested in the Democratic National Committee office, located in the Watergate complex in Washington, D.C. And on April 9, 1973, the secret White House recording system was disclosed at Senate hearings. More than 200 hours of newly transcribed tapes revealing abuses of governmental power. Conspiracies connected to President Richard Nixon's re-election campaign were caught on tape. They had been caught wiretapping phones and stealing documents. Nixon took aggressive steps to conceal the crimes, but his role in the conspiracy was revealed by the Washington Post investigative journalists Bob Woodward and Carl Bernstein. Nixon decided to resign on August 9, 1974, but why didn't they destroy the tape? Nixon initially wanted to destroy the tapes before any outsider learned of them, but decided to keep them because he thought of selectively using them later for his own defense and his autobiography. American politics were forever changed after the Watergate scandal. It led many Americans to question their leaders and think more critically about the presidency. Number 2. Delivering a speech is common among statesmen and presidents, but what if you heard that same speech delivered by a governor 2 years ago? On our 2nd spot, Obama borrowed the same speech from Massachusetts Governor Deval Patrick. Barack Obama was giving a speech in Wisconsin on February 16, 2008, where he answered allegations from his main political rival, Hillary Clinton. Part of the speech goes like this: "Don't tell me words don't matter. I have a dream, just words. We hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal, just words. We have nothing to fear but fear itself, just words. Just speeches." The Clinton campaign accused Obama of plagiarism. Obama responded saying that Patrick is a good friend of his and they share ideas regularly. Way to talk yourself out of that one. Even Patrick himself, the plagiarized party, has taken to national TV to defend Obama. Hey, you know, it's okay. Your president plagiarizes. You can too. And now for number 1. If you want to become the next president, make sure you don't miss geography class just so you can create your own Twitter account. President Trump claims that he has great respect for the UK, although he confuses Ireland and Great Britain. Once in 2018, during an interview, he made a comment that he was popular in the UK. He said, "I believe that people in the UK, Scotland, Ireland, they like me a lot." Probably not after making this comment. Another time when Trump spoke to British Prime Minister Theresa May, he thought the UK and Britain could be used interchangeably to mean the same place, or whichever one he prefers. And it seems like nobody even bothers to correct him. Maybe he just doesn't care about the difference between using the political term and geographical term for the UK and Great Britain. Why bother? They're all in Europe, that's for sure. But again, on March 12, 2020, Trump appears to have confused Ireland and the UK during a press briefing in the White House with Ireland's Prime Minister, Leo Varadkar. A reporter asked to reconfirm if Ireland is excluded from the travel ban due to the coronavirus. He replied that in keeping new cases from entering the shores of the US, they will be suspending all travel from Europe, but these restrictions will not apply to the United Kingdom. So what about Ireland, sir? So there you have it, Better Believers. Top 10 hilarious presidential screw-ups. Which one tickled you the most? Can you think of any other presidential screw-ups that we should cover? Let us know in the comments section below. Thanks a bunch for watching. Oh, and if you found this video fun and interesting, check out one of these.